Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and guys, this is episode 108. If you're new to this program and you were searching for some random porn, you accidentally came across my shitty podcast, and you're not a movie fan, well, maybe I can convince you to be one. But, for all the returning people out there, how you guys doing? You guys doing pretty well? You seen any great movies this weekend? We're 1 week away from that good old War Star movie, so I mean, I guess get all the catching up you can do before that movie comes out. So on today's episode, guys, episode 108. Holy shit, I cannot believe. Man, that's a lot of episodes. All right, so I'm gonna go over some movie news, some trailers that dropped. My review of In the Heart of the Sea, and then, of course, my reaction to the 2016 Golden Globe nominations and my predictions for each category, like director, actor, picture, screenplay, and song. I'm not going to do all the TV and stuff because I don't watch enough TV to do that, but I will do all the movie nominations for sure. And then the box office results for the weekend. What came out in number one? Let's find out. That'll be at the end. All right, so movie news. There's only two pieces of movie news, and both of them I'm super excited for, so let's dive right into it. Now, Thor Ragnarok is coming out in 2017, I believe. Yeah, I think it's 2 years from now. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the trilogy of Thor's kind of storyline or whatever, and having it wrap up or whatever, and just full-on destruction, man, because that's what Ragnarok means. It means apocalypse, so some shit's going to go down in Asgard. So it's in talks that Cate Blanchett is going to join Thor 3. Holy shit, this is awesome. I've always liked Cate Blanchett, like a ton, ever since like Lord of the Rings and stuff, and even her like resurgence with Blue Jasmine back in 2013. I saw that movie and I was like, oh wow, I completely forgot how great she was. And ever since Blue Jasmine, she's been hitting it out of the park even more constantly now than she ever has in her career ever before. So she's in talks to join. Yes, please. Listen, you can never mistake adding talent to a movie. I don't care what the movie is. It could be Alvin and the Fuck Monks. And this is, even if you add like a great actor or actress to Alvin and the Fuck Monks, then it might elevate just a little bit, even though it's a shit movie. So you can never mistake adding talent. Cate Blanchett joining Marvel, especially Thor, and how Shakespearean it is and stuff. Fucking buy. Are you kidding me? Not only is she one of the best actresses working today, and she is very versatile, and she can do anything from comedies to dramas to action films, fantasy. She's amazing. So her joining Thor Ragnarok, totally on board. I have nothing else to say. I think her acting alongside Chris Hemsworth and stuff, and having their dialogue go back and forth, I can already imagine how the scenes will go, and they would be some epic dialogue-fueled scenes that I'll just have a huge smile when I see it. But yeah, she's in talks to join it. Please do. Cate Blanchett, sign that dotted line because you need to be in this movie. It totally fits with you. So that is a great piece of news. And this is another great piece of news. Rebecca Ferguson, who was the standout in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, in my opinion, not only is she sexy and beautiful, she was a strong female character in that film. She kicked ass. She had a lot of backstory. There was a lot to her character besides just looking stunning. Oh, God, that scene in the cave. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. But, she is poised to come back for number 6. Which is great because this is the first time in history we have a director returning with Chris McQuarrie because he did Rogue Nation, and another actor or actress besides all the small female characters or Tom Cruise's clan or whatever. It's a different character that's returning. That's never happened before, and so I think her coming back is just. How can you not buy this? She was one of the strongest parts in Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation, in my opinion, is the best Mission Impossible we've ever had. I know. Wrap that around your head. The 5th one in the franchise was the best one. It's kind of like with Fast and the Furious. Fast 5 Fast and Furious 6 and Furious 7 are like my 3 favorite ones, and they're later in the series. So she's going to return. The director's returning, and this is kind of new for this franchise because in every single installment, they switch out directors, they switch out the actresses and stuff, and they always have a new female badass and a new director. And so this is going to be different. And I think because Rogue Nation was so well regarded by critics, fans, and it was actually a huge box office smash, it makes sense to have her come back and have Christopher McQuarrie come back to direct it. Nothing but great news across the board. Sorry, guys, the news is kind of it was a little slow this week, but those are the 2 I picked out because those are the 2 worth talking about. So are you a fan of Thor Ragnarok? Are you excited Cate Blanchett joining? Were you a fan of Rogue Nation? Are you excited Rebecca Ferguson is coming back? Comment, place, rub on my face. Let me know your thoughts on the 2 pieces of news that I have discussed just now and then and there. And okay, so we have 5 trailers that dropped this week. And I'm looking at the list. I kind of like all of them. Not going to lie. So I really didn't think there was a poor trailer this week. Yeah, I'm even referring to the Turtle trailer. So let's break this down. And of course, I'm going to talk about the comic book one last because that's one of my favorite genres. So we'll just start with the first one and we'll work our way down. So the first trailer I want to talk about is a teaser, and it's the BFG. First of all, I don't like the title. They should have just named it the Big Friendly Giant. But of course, sure, let's just do the acronym because that makes a whole lot of fucking sense, especially when we market this movie. Mommy, Daddy, what's the BFG? Oh my God, honey, is that like a sexual disease that kids can contract nowadays? Did he learn that from recess? What is a fucking BFG? So I've never really liked the title ever. But let's talk about the trailer. Now, the trailer starts out with this little girl or boy, I forgot. That makes me look like a douche because I should have watched the trailer. I did watch the trailer many, many times. I just forgot what the gender of the child was. Whoops. Anyways, the child is like in their bedroom or whatever, and there's a giant walking throughout the streets, and it kind of looks like one of the Death Eaters from Harry Potter. Like it's a dark cloak, and they're just kind of like walking throughout the town. And I'm surprised no one's saying anything. It's just like, oh, how you doing, Mr. Giant? Like, why was that Mickey Mouse? I don't know why that was Mickey. Oh boy! Oh, look at that giant strolling throughout the street! Ah! And then he just steps on Mickey, and then he just splats all of his little mouse guts everywhere. But anyways, the giant's running throughout the street, and he comes through the children's bedroom, and the hand goes in through the window and grabs the child. I'm not like saying this is going to be my most anticipated film of next year by any means. Let's just set that straight. But I think it looks pretty interesting. And I do like the fact that it's Steven Spielberg directing a Disney movie. That should just sell you right there. And it kind of had like a Harry Potter feel to it. Like it was kind of weird. So it looked like Steven Spielberg really locked himself in a basement somewhere in Wisconsin and like marathoned all the Harry Potters back to back like 3 or 4 times to get a good tone for this movie. But the teaser is well done. It adds the atmosphere and kind of this intrigue, just kind of just clouding the atmosphere of this film. And I enjoyed it, and I will be looking forward to it next year. I'm not like jumping up and down, but I mean, it has caught my interest. I just hate the fucking title. Mommy, I want to see the BFG. Oh my God, son, is that a new curse word? All right, so the next trailer I want to talk about is The Legend of Tarzan. Now, this is the Margot Robbie, Alexander Skarsgård, Christoph Waltz field movie that's directed by David Yates, who directed the last 4 Harry Potter films, which are arguably the best ones. So this just tells the Legend of Tarzan. You guys know Tarzan. I don't need to explain that to you. Alexander Skarsgård is Tarzan. He's a ape man running through the woods, and then he's put into society and stuff. I like the trailer. I really do. I loved just the way it looked and just the way it felt. It looked like a different retelling of Tarzan that we've never seen before, even though we've seen this story told a million times. One of the more iconic adaptations is when Disney did it with its animated movie, which I really like. But this looks really cool. The only problem I had with it was there was a couple CGI shots where I was like, ooh, that's CGI Alexander Skarsgård running through the trees. Ew. Okay, but other than that, I thought it looked dark, it looked gritty, it looked really cool, and it looked like a really cool different take on Tarzan. And I love the fact that David Yates is directing this sumbitch. Listen, I'm a huge Harry Potter nut, but I'm not going to call myself a Potterhead because I never read the books. Hold on, folks. I will argue that I actually had a better experience with the movies than the readers did because I had no idea what was happening. I didn't know anything about the Horcruxes or the ending of the entire series or whatever. I had no fucking clue what was going to happen, and so I was actually surprised throughout the series, and I think that's why I had a better experience because I didn't see anything coming. It was kind of all new to me and stuff. So, for all you book readers out there, that's my reasoning. But I love David Yates' direction in the last 4 Harry Potters because he did Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and The Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. I loved the second half of the Harry Potter franchise. It was so epic, and it was I just want to twist my nipples because they were so fucking good. I still remember, to this day, seeing Deathly Hallows Part 1 in theaters in 2010, and when it ended on that cliffhanger, I'm just like, God damn it! I have to wait fucking 8 months for Part 2. So I love the fact that David Yates is coming back to direct something, and Legend of Tarzan looks like it could be a really good time, and Christoph Waltz looks like the safari hunter from Jumanji. So there's that. But I've always been a fan of Christoph Waltz. He can dress however the fuck he wants to dress. So I actually really enjoyed that trailer. The third trailer I want to talk about is The Brothers Grimsby, and this is the Sacha Baron Cohen, Mark Strong movie, where Mark Strong and Sacha Baron Cohen were brothers. They were separated. One of them became an assassin. One of them became kind of a normal dude, I guess. And, they kind of meet up and have a grand old adventure filled with monstrous comedic scenes and slick action scenes. I think the trailer looks fun. Now, am I jumping up and down for it? No. But I'm a huge fan of Sacha Baron Cohen. Seeing Borat in theaters was one of the best movie-going experiences of my life. I was filled in a room with 400 people. We had no idea what to expect because I'm sure most of us in that room never saw the Ali G show. So we had no idea what Sacha Baron Cohen's style is. And apparently there is a fighter jet going across my apartment. That's fucking nice. Did you guys hear that? Okay, lovely. Anyways, Borat was one of the best movie-going experiences. Everyone laughed, had a great time. I saw Bruno. I actually really like Bruno. It's not as good as Borat, but, it is what it is. I didn't really care for The Dictator. I actually like Sacha Baron Cohen when he's doing the mockumentaries and not really so much just straight-up movies, even though I do like, some of the movies he's done, like his supporting role in Talladega Nights, or when he's, doing more serious stuff like Sweeney Todd or Les Mis. So I think he's a very well-rounded actor. So I'm really excited to see anything comedic that he does because he's one of the comedic geniuses in film today. The Brothers Grimsby looks fun. Now, if the reviews come out and people are just like, oh my God, this is as funny as Borat or even funnier, then I'll get more excited for it. But for right now, the trailer looks fine. I actually like the action set pieces more than the comedic scenes because the action set pieces look really cool. And there's a sequence in the trailer where they go POV and we see what they're doing and stuff, and it looks really just grounded and visceral and brutal and just it's great. But it looks okay. But it looks like a lot of fun though. So if I start hearing reviews and it's like, oh my God, this is really funny, then sure, I'll get more excited for it. But until then, I'm still looking forward to it. The fourth trailer I want to talk about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's not called 2. It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Why? I don't fucking know. Take that subtitle, whatever the fuck you call those things, take that shit out and just call it TMNT 2 or something. Out of the Shadows. Why? Why? What are they... Okay, anyways, I am one of the few people on this planet Earth that, is living and breathing that actually enjoyed the first one. I thought the first one was fun. Yeah, is it corny and stupid in some parts, and it's just filled with product placement? It's got Michael Bay isms all over the place, even though he only produced it and didn't direct it? Sure. But I had a lot of fun with it. The trailer to the sequel, Out of the Shadows, I enjoyed it. I was like, you know what? This looks like stupid fun, just like the first one, and it looks like I'm going to have stupid fun when I see it in the theaters again. So that's really all I can add to it. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed the first one. It was just one of those theater-going experiences where I had a ball watching it. And the sequel looks like it could be a lot of fun too. So there you go. So that's all I have to say about that. But and then the last and final trailer I want to talk about. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, twist your nips and butter them up. Just rub them until they're raw, because we have some greatness. We have some greatness that just graced the internet. Xmen Apocalypse. I think this is a really good trailer to set up what the movie is. Now, a lot of people were complaining that it didn't really show much. It was just a bunch of shots fluttering back and forth. You got to keep in mind this movie is still 6 months out. It is just a teaser. We will probably get a full-blown trailer when the Super Bowl hits in February or when the Oscars hit in March. We're going to get a bigger trailer in a few more months. Just chill. But as a teaser, I really love this trailer. It sets up the tone, sets up the threat, and it just looks like it's going to be one hell of a X-Men film. I don't know much more to say. I'm a huge X-Men franchise fan. I have all of them sitting right over there. Yeah, all of them. Even Origins Wolverine. Don't know why, but I have it. But I have every one of them, and I've liked this new trilogy that they're setting up with X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, and now X-Men Apocalypse. This looks great. However, when Comic-Con was in July, the Entertainment Weekly released a photo of Apocalypse, and he was purple and kind of ugly and looked like a Mario and Luigi villain from the 90s. And then, of course, Ivan Ooze from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. In the trailer, 20th Century Fox does hide him a lot. There's a lot of back shots, there's a lot of side shots, and we get like one glimpse of his face, but he's kind of looking up to the skies or whatever, so all we see is kind of his chin and kind of like the shadow of his face. They definitely changed it, because from the pictures he is purple, and in this one he's more of like kind of a light blue, kind of grayish, kind of like what the comic book character looks like. So I think 20th Century Fox is still working on changing Apocalypse for the movie, and they're still doing special effects and stuff, because they hit him a lot in this trailer. But on the same coin, I think it worked for the trailer because I wanted to keep that that threat kind of anonymous up until the release and stuff. Like the poster had a really good side shot of him and stuff, but I don't really want to see much of Apocalypse until the movie. Yeah, hint him throughout the trailer and stuff and show a couple of quick scenes, but I think the more you keep him in the dark, the better he'll be as a villain when you see the movie, because then he'll be more powerful in your eyes and more threatening. But so that's my whole thing on Apocalypse. I think Oscar Isaac sounds awesome. Like his voice sounds really cool. All the new cast, all the new young X-Men, Ty Sheridan is Cyclops, and the actress playing Storm, the actress playing Jean Grey. I think they all look great. And then you add, all the people from First Class, like Rose Byrne, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy. It just looks like it's going to be fucking epic. I cannot wait. X-Men Apocalypse, get here now. Is it May yet? Is it fucking May yet? No, it's not. We have to wait a while. Dude, May is going to be a good month. I want you guys to keep this in mind. Civil War comes out in the beginning of May. We get X-Men Apocalypse like 4 weeks later. It's going to be just like 2014 all over again, where we got Captain America Winter Soldier in April, and then we got X-Men Days of Future Past like a month later in May. So, oh, it's so great. So, with that being said, guys, that's the trailers for this week. What did you guys think about the trailers? What was your favorite one? Obviously, my favorite one was X-Men Apocalypse. Second favorite, if I had to pick one, I do Legend of Tarzan. I think that was a real surprise. I didn't really expect much from it, and it looks really great. So, David Yates, I am still your fan. So, what did you guys think of the trailers this week? What was your favorite one, least favorite, all that jazz? Comment in the place, rub on my face, and let me know. All right, we're hitting the 20-minute mark, so let's get into the meat. Let's step aside and shove the appetizers to the side. We're done. We're full. Let's get to that main course, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So I'm going to do the movie review first, and I'll do the Golden Globe nominations afterwards. So if you want to just skip to the Golden Globes, give me like 10 minutes or so. I would say 5 to 10 minutes for the movie, and then I'll jump to the nominations. All right. So I saw In the Heart of the Sea, and it's directed by Ron Howard. It stars Chris Hemsworth, Tom Holland, Cillian Murphy. I think that's it. I can't remember any more names. Anyways, it tells the story of Moby Dick. The movie starts out with one of the crew members of the ship that witnessed this whale, and Herman Melville, who wrote this story based on the Moby Dick legend. He comes to the person's house, and it's set up just like The Life of Pi, which came out a few years ago, where the author comes to the person's house and he recollects his memories, tells the story, and then the author takes what he's got and turns it into a book. And then we get the story of these whalers hunting for whale oil for this company, and they come across this group of whales. One of them is super big. Moby Dick, destroys them, and it's, kind of a survival story, man versus nature type of thing. So what did I think? Let's start with the writing and the directing. Let's start with the writing. I think it's a well-written movie. I think story-wise and structure, it's fine. And it's more of the kind of the direction side that I have a problem with, not so much the writing or the story. I think it's a well-constructed story. There are some great lines in there about greed and how we're just small specks of dust on this planet and stuff, and it doesn't fucking matter if we toy with nature. Nature's still gonna fuck us in the ass every single time. So I didn't really have a problem with the writing, and I thought, like I said, especially that little monologue towards the end. I'm not gonna say where or anything, but towards the end about greed and stuff, and just how far we'll go as a human race, and how we're just specks of dust in this universe is great stuff. The directing is kind of where I have an issue. Now, the first half, I didn't feel as invested as the second half. I didn't feel that emotional gravitas or that weight. That was just kind of like when we see these characters out at sea where I'm just like, oh my God, I care for them. I want them to make it back home. There was something kind of artificial about the beginning of it, and I think it just might have been too much CGI, and the fact that I could tell when it was green screen, I was like, I'm not buying that. Like it sucks me out of the movie. So I think Ron Howard is a very talented director. I think he is. But for this movie, I think he did the second half better than the first half. The first half, just like I said, too much CGI and too much green screen and too much artificial, ocean shots and stuff, where I was like, I'm not buying it. But once they were stranded, that's when I got invested. It reminded me of like Castaway, and I was like, this is good stuff. I really like this. So overall, I think the direction is fine. This is not a bad movie, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's overall an okay movie. But the first half, it just felt artificial. I didn't feel that weight. But the second half, it redeems itself. But at that point, it was a little too late type of thing. So overall, the direction is not bad, even though I like the second half a lot more than the first half. Acting-wise, this is a well-acted movie. There's no problem with it. Like, especially the scenes with Brendan Gleeson and Ben Whishaw, I think. Ben Whishaw plays Herman Melville. He's the author or whatever, and Brendan Gleeson's telling this story. Those scenes are great. I love it when they go back to those scenes and they're talking at the table and stuff. I also like Chris Hemsworth. His accent is a little hit and miss, not going to lie. It kind of floats out of that Aussie kind of 1800s accent a lot. So, it's not really bothersome. It's just, you just kind of notice it. But Chris Hemsworth delivers a very good performance, and he was super dedicated. This guy lost a lot of weight, especially for the starvation scenes and stuff. He really kicked ass. Tom Holland was also great. This was the first time I've ever been exposed to Tom Holland. A lot of people's first exposure was The Impossible. Didn't see that movie. But my eye is on Tom Holland now because he's the new Spider-Man. So anything he does outside of the universe, I need to pay attention. And I just want to make sure that he's a great actor for Spider-Man and just a great actor in general. And I thought Tom Holland did a very good job. Well, was he my favorite part? No. That'd be probably Brendan Gleeson or Chris Hemsworth. But he did a very good job. Cillian Murphy. Where the fuck has this guy been? He knocked it out of the park. I loved his role. There was a lot, I didn't really know much about his character, but just the way he conveyed his emotions or his dialogue through his face, I felt that history between him and Chris Hemsworth, who were friends in the movie. So Cillian Murphy, I really dug his performance. And everyone else, all the supporting cast does very, very well as well. Have no problems with the acting. I think it's very good. The only thing you notice is Chris Hemsworth, his accent kind of just what he's got a strong Aussie accent. It's kind of hard to hide. Also, another geek out moment is Tom Holland and Chris Hemsworth have scenes together. So you're thinking to yourself in the back of your head, like, oh my God, Thor and Spider-Man are talking. We get our first glimpse of this for the Marvel movies. So that was really cool to see just as a fanboy of Marvel. Cinematography-wise, once again, it's like the second half was well shot. There was a couple of good shots from the first half, but just with the CGI and just how artificial it looked, it wasn't good. I just felt like they were really old CGI graphics. And the funny thing is, this movie was supposed to come out in March, and they pushed it back because they thought it would get awards contention. You had, what is that, like 8 months? You could have polished up the CGI, made it more pristine and more realistic or something. So I think it's a very beautiful movie in terms of the colors and how they are in contrast to this like dark and grim situation for this movie and stuff. But I thought the second half was shot way better than the first half. And there was, I don't know what type of lens they were using, but there's a few shots where it was like this super weird close-up on super like objects, and it wasn't a fisheye lens, but it was a lens that like made the object have like a lot of depth of field. I don't know what angle it is or what lens it is, but those shots were kind of out of nowhere and stuff. They didn't really fit with the movie overall. Editing wise, the movie, like I said, even though I had my problems with it and I wasn't really emotionally invested in the first half as the second half, I did enjoy myself, and I believe it's 2 hours long, and it does fly by because I'm a sucker for survival movies and Lost at Sea movies and stuff. So for me personally, I was invested. I thought I had a nice pace to it. I would say nice. It's not the strongest pace where it's like it flows really well. It's just, it's a nice pace, nice rhythm to kind of just get you through the story. Overall thoughts, this is actually a really dark movie because if you read the Moby Dick story, there's references to cannibalism and just like suicides and stuff. It's dark shit, man. And Ron Howard actually squeezed some scenes in there that kind of make you cringe a little bit. You're just like, that's awful, but at the same time you can't really get mad at them because they did that to survive, and it's like it's crazy to think about. But I love the fact that Moby Dick the whale was, I felt like throughout the whole movie he was like a symbolism for karma, for greed and stuff, and how far man will go to get that bottom dollar with the whale oil and stuff. And Moby Dick, is just stopping them. And then when Chris Hemsworth is like, we're just specks of dust, man. Like, look what greed has done to us. We're going so far to the edge that this is happening. So I thought that was really cool. I thought he was like a symbolism for greed and stuff, and just Mother Nature in general. I don't know if you know this, but as a human being, you are tiny. Mother Nature will kick your ass every single time. Do not fuck with her. So overall, I enjoyed the movie. I think it's an okay movie. Like, I enjoyed it, and it was really fun and kind of dark and grim, and I was into it. But on a filmmaking standpoint, it was just okay. I thought the acting was really good. Second half better than the first half. Some of the CGI was a little wonky. But then some of the monologue scenes were really good. So there's a lot of good, and there's like kind of like a lot of and then kind of a lot of missed opportunities. For me personally, I would give it a C+. I know it's kind of disappointing for a Ron Howard film, but Ron Howard's worst movie to this day is The Dilemma. So as long as you go above and beyond that, then we're doing okay. So that is my score for In the Heart of the Sea, C+. Overall, I did enjoy it, and I would still recommend it, but just go in there and just take what I said with a grain of salt and just go enjoy yourself if you like those type of movies. Is it a movie you need to see in theaters? I don't think so. But like I said, if you're bored and want to go watch something, I still recommend it. So C+ for In the Heart of the Sea. Have you seen In the Heart of the Sea? Comment that place up on my face and let me know. I would like to know you guys' thoughts. If you guys thought it was better than what I said it was, or if it was worse than what I said it was. I don't think it deserves its negative percentage on Rotten Tomatoes right now by any means. I think it's a still enjoyable movie. It's okay, but it's not terrible. It's just okay. But I couldn't do a C as an average score. I was like, I'm going to give it that plus because it does deserve it in a couple of scenes. So C+ for In the Heart of the Sea. All right. So now let's get into the 2016 Golden Globe nominations. They were released this past weekend. So let's dive right into them. Okay. You guys doing good? You guys hanging in there? Okay. All right. Like I said, I'm just going to do the film categories. I'm going to do like actor, actress, screenplay, best picture, song, and I believe that's it. Oh, and animated feature. And you know what? I'll do foreign language, one of them, so I'll vouch for it. So let's start that. So for best motion picture, foreign language, the nominees are The Brand New Testament, The Club, The Fencer, Mustang, and Son of Saul. Now, I was at Fantastic Fest, and I saw Son of Saul. And I'm telling you right now, that's the only one I've seen out of the 5, but that is a damn good movie. Do not be surprised if Son of Saul takes it. The Brand New Testament also played at Fantastic Fest, and I know that he does not listen to the show, but I'll call him out. Preston, he writes for Fresh Fiction and stuff. He's another Dallas film critic. Very cool dude. I think because he was at Fantastic Fest as well, I think he saw The Brand New Testament. So I'd have to talk to him and see what he thought about it. But Son of Saul is the only one I've seen. But it's a damn good movie to where I would not be surprised if it won. So what do you guys think about the foreign language films? If you've seen the other ones, please let me know what you thought down below. All right. Best animated feature. This has got to be one of the coolest and most strong categories of the entire list. Best animated feature film. Anomalisa, The Good Dinosaur, Inside Out, The Peanuts movie, and Shaun the Sheep, the movie. I have not seen Shaun the Sheep, but I heard it was actually really good. So I'm going to go ahead and just assume that it's good. But I have seen the other 4. The Peanuts movie. Such a fun movie and such a nostalgic movie. It's very sweet. It's very cute and charming, what have you. Inside Out is a good fucking movie on a psychological level, on an animated level, on a written level, on an acting level. It's all good. The Good Dinosaur was fun. It was fine. I wouldn't put it in there, to be honest with you. And then Anomalisa. I actually saw that at Fantastic Fest. I really liked Anomalisa. Is it in my top 10 of the year? Probably not, just because this year is so stacked and I've already got my list pretty much set. But Anomalisa, do not discredit it. Will Inside Out probably take this? Probably. But what should win? I think Anomalisa should win. I really enjoyed that movie. It's a really cool take on like romance movies and stuff. And the fact that it's all in stop motion and it's just so interesting and weird, just like every other Charlie Kaufman movie. Inside Out will probably win. And if it does, hey, I'm not going to argue against it. But do not be surprised if Anomalisa might have that slight edge over it because they're both fantastic. I would pick those two out of the whole list. But Inside Out would probably take this. Let's be honest with ourselves. All right. Best original song. Now, I've heard 3 of these things, 3 of them out of the 5. So here are the 5. Love Me Like You Do from 50 Shades of Grey. One of a Kind Love from Love and Mercy. See You Again, Furious 7. Simple Song Number 3 from Youth. And Writings on the Wall from Spectre. I'm going to just say this right now. I think the Sam Smith Spectre song is one of the worst ones in terms of just boredom. That song will put you to sleep. I didn't really like it at all. I like all the graphics that are in James Bond movies and the intros and stuff. But dear Lord, I did not like that song whatsoever. It's such a snooze fest. I love Skyfall theme song way more. Did not see Youth, so I don't know about that song. Furious 7. I might tear up while talking about it, but that is oh man, that fucking song, man, will just hit you so hard in the gut because of what happened to Paul Walker and stuff, and God, it's such a great song. It's a great, even if Paul Walker didn't pass on, it's still a great song to kind of end that movie and where these characters go and stuff. So it's a good fucking song. I didn't see Love and Mercy, so I don't know about One of a Kind Love, but I've heard great things from Love and Mercy, so I need to check it out. Love Me Like You Do from 50 Shades of Grey. What do you want me to say about this fucking movie? It's 50 Shades of Grey. I'm actually excited to see the sequels. Believe it or not, but yeah, why is that in there? Get that shit out of here. All right. Best original score. Carol, The Danish Girl, The Hateful Eight, Steve Jobs, and The Revenant. Now, I have not seen The Danish Girl, Carol, or The Hateful Eight, but I have seen Steve Jobs and The Revenant. I really like Steve Jobs' score, but The Revenant. Out of the two, that's the one that I have. Oh, and I forgot to mention for song, what's gonna win? I don't know. It's probably going to be Spectre and Fury 7. What should win is Fury 7. All right, so on to the score. Out of the two I've seen, I love the Revenant score. It's very barbaric, and it's very kind of frontier-like and very just, you know, it relies on, like, you know, bongo drums and like these weird obscure sounds and stuff to kind of heighten this material. What's going to win, though? It might be Alexandra Desplat for The Danish Girl, or maybe The Hateful Eight. I'm going to say one of those two are the winners because Alexandra Desplat got nominated twice last year. And I think he won. So it'd probably be The Danish Girl, The Hateful Eight, but I really like The Revenant, kind of by default because I've only seen two of them. So yeah, The Revenant score is pretty dope. All right, best screenplay. Emma Donoghue for Room. Tom McCarthy and Josh Singer for Spotlight, Charles Randolph and Adam McKay for The Big Short, Aaron Sorkin for Steve Jobs, and Quentin Tarantino for The Hateful Eight. I've seen three of these. I've seen Room, Spotlight, and Steve Jobs. Of course, Aaron Sorkin's going to get nominated. The Steve Jobs movie is fueled by his scripts, and Aaron Sorkin is the star of that movie. But I really liked Room. And Spotlight is such a tight script. But I've heard great things from The Big Short. And, of course, Quentin Tarantino is Quentin Tarantino, even though I have not seen The Hateful Eight yet. What will win? I got to be honest. I think it's a dead heat race between Aaron Sorkin and Quentin Tarantino, which is, like, awesome because they're two fantastic writers. I think Tarantino might pull out on the edge and get the win, because he's a favorite for the foreign press. But who should win out of the ones I've seen? I think Spotlight. Like, Spotlight was really well written. It was a tight script, dude. But Steve Jobs was really good too. I'll go with Spotlight. I think Spotlight should win, but The Hateful Eight will probably win for screenplay. Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture. Jane Fonda, Youth. Jennifer Jason Leigh, The Hateful Eight. Helen Mirren, Trumbo, Alicia Vikander, Ex Machina, and Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs. I've only seen one of them. I've seen Steve Jobs for Kate Winslet. And Kate Winslet was pretty dope in that movie. So I have to by default pick it. Who will win, though? It'll probably be Jennifer Jason Leigh. I'm just being honest with you, because all the buzz I'm hearing about her performance and stuff, it will probably propel her to have several wins, including the Oscars. So I'm going to go ahead and say Jennifer Jason Leigh will win, but who should win? Obviously, I'm going to have to go with Kate Winslet because that's the only one I've seen. That's a pretty good category, though. Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture. Paul Dano, Love and Mercy. Idris Elba, Beast of No Nation. Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies. Michael Shannon, 99 Homes. And Sylvester Stallone, Creed. I have seen 3 out of the 5. I have not seen Love and Mercy, but Paul Dano is awesome, so I'm just going to assume that he's awesome in Love and Mercy, which I've heard great things. And then I have not seen Bridge of Spies. So out of the 3 I've seen, Sylvester Stallone is great in Creed. Michael Shannon was good in 99 Homes, but it's not something where I'd be like, he needs to be nominated for something. And then Idris Elba is pretty fucking terrifying in Beast of No Nation. Even though I didn't really care for that movie as much as other people, I will recognize that this is a great pick for his for this category. Who should win out of those three that I picked? I think Stallone should win, but who will probably win? Probably Idris Elba, just because we're dealing with the foreign press and stuff, and I think they're going to be more at ease putting Idris Elba or Sylvester Stallone as the winner for this category, because Sylvester Stallone's got a huge Italian background, so that might help him. But I think still Stallone should win. But I think Idris Elba will win, which is not a knock on his performance. I think that's great. So if he does win, great. Idris Elba was fucking gross and terrifying in that movie. So, yeah, it's good enough for me. Best Actress in a Motion Picture Comedy, Jennifer Lawrence, Joy, Melissa McCarthy, Spy, Amy Schumer, Trainwreck, Maggie Smith, The Lady in the Van, and Lily Tomlin, Grandma. Have not seen two of them. Have not seen Lady in the Van or Grandma. Out of the three I have seen, though, if you want to talk straight up comedy, because Joy is not a straight up comedy. I have seen that movie. It's more of a dramedy. It's got some comedy elements to it, but overall it's a drama. I didn't really care for Spy. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a couple laughs in there, but I think that's Melissa McCarthy, one of Melissa McCarthy's weakest movies and one of Paul Feig's weakest movies. My money's on Amy Schumer. I think Amy should and will win. I think the foreign press loves her. And I really did enjoy Trainwreck a lot. It was very funny, and it had a lot of heart to it. And there's one scene in particular where I was like, Amy Schumer's got acting chops. I want to see more from her. So, but then again, they love Jennifer Lawrence as well. And they love Maggie Smith as well. I don't know. This is a tough one. But I think Amy Schumer will and should win. I'm going to go ahead and just say that. All right. Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. Christian Bale, The Big Short, Steve Carell, The Big Short, Matt Damon, The Martian, Al Pacino and Danny Collins, and Mark Ruffalo, Infinitely Polar Bear. I haven't seen all of them except for The Martian. So this is going to be a tough one. I really want to see The Big Short, but it won't come out until next week, I believe. All right, for nationwide. Ooh, this is a tough one. Who should win? Obviously, I got to go with Matt Damon because that's the only one I've seen. But who will win? I think Matt Damon might take it. It's probably going to be between him and Christian Bale. But I think Damon might take it. So I'm going to say should and will win Matt Damon, even though I haven't seen any of their other performances. I'm just kind of going off buzz and just what I've been hearing and stuff. So, yeah, I think it might work. Okay, Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Cate Blanchett, Carol. Brie Larson, Room. Rooney Mara, Carol. Saoirse Ronan, I always can't pronounce her name. Brooklyn, and Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl. I've been hearing great things from Carol and The Danish Girl, but guess what? I've only seen one of these out of the 5 nominees. I've seen Room. I'm going to tell you right now, Brie Larson gives the performance of her career. I love Short Term 12, and I think that movie was grossly underrated when it came awards time. And she should have won for that movie. But now that she has an even stronger movie, I think that she needs to win this. But I've been hearing great things from Carol and The Danish Girl. So I don't know. This is going to be tough. For me personally, who should win? Obviously, I got to pick Brie Larson. But I also think Brie Larson will win this. I think she's got this. My second pick would they might give it to Carol. One of them, Cate Blanchett or Rooney Mara. So my pick is Brie Larson for should and will win. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cate Blanchett or Rooney Mara took it either. All right. Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. Bryan Cranston, Trumbo. Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant. Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs, Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl, and Will Smith, Concussion. I've only seen 2 out of the 5. I will be seeing Trumbo this coming week, though, so I'll knock that off my list. Who should win out of the 2 I've seen? DiCaprio, for sure. I have seen The Revenant, and I can tell you this right now, it's in my top 3. Love that movie. But I would not be surprised if Fassbender took it either, because they're both great performances in their own right, but Leonardo DiCaprio's got the edge for me. But who will win? That's a different question. They might give it to Eddie Redmayne. I'm just being honest. They might give it to Redmayne or Fassbender. So don't be surprised if one of those three gets it. But Bryan Cranston's getting a lot of heat for Trumbo. So I don't know, man. It could go to Cranston. So I don't know. I have to see Trumbo first to make that decision, but we'll find out. But my pick is DiCaprio, but it'll probably be Fassbender or Redmayne. But I'm hoping DiCaprio wins it. Please, for the love of God. All right. Best director. Todd Haynes, Carol. Alejandro G. Inarritu, The Revenant. Tom McCarthy, Spotlight. Mad Max Fury Road, George Miller. And then Ridley Scott, The Martian. Guess what? I have seen all these except for Carol. Who should win? I think Inarritu should win it, or Miller. I'll put both of those in the chopping block, because what Inarritu did, I can't review it just yet because we're under an embargo, but I can tell you right now, what Inarritu did in The Revenant is breathtaking. It is groundbreaking. I don't know how you even did some of the shots. And same goes for George Miller, where I'm just like, George Miller did some crazy shit too as a director on that movie. So I would put those two in the lead for should. Who will win? Probably Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. Spotlight's been getting a lot of press, a lot of buzz. I love that movie. But people are really loving that movie. But they also might give it to Inarritu. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Inarritu just because The Revenant is so amazing and stuff. So, yeah, I think Tom McCarthy will win for Spotlight. But should is Inarritu for The Revenant or George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road, because I'm not a huge fan of Mad Max Fury Road. I like the movie a good deal, and I think it's very groundbreaking in terms of some of the spectacles. But in my top 10, no. I think it's a fun action movie. That's as far as I'll go. But the direction is ridiculous, and you have to recognize it for that. All right. Now onto the two big categories, which I hate: Best Motion Picture, Comedy, Musicals, because most of these are not comedies. All right. Best Picture, Comedy, or Musical. The Big Short, Joy, The Martian, Spy, or Trainwreck. Now, I have seen 4 out of the 5. Have not seen The Big Short yet. Out of the 4, if you want to talk legit comedy, Trainwreck should win this. However, that's not what they're all about. So I think who should win? Trainwreck. Who will win? Probably The Martian or Joy. I have seen Joy as well. Can't review it yet, but I can tell you that Joy was a nice surprise, and I really enjoyed it a lot, actually. So who should win? Trainwreck, for sure, because that's a straight-up comedy. Duh. And then, but who will win will probably be Joy, The Martian. But I wouldn't be surprised if The Big Short took it either, because I've been hearing great things. All right. Now, the biggest one, and probably the one that's going to be more looked at than anything else, because this will determine who's going to be nominated for the Oscars: Best Motion Picture Drama. Carol, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. Just like the other Best Picture category, I have seen 4 out of the 5. I have not seen Carol. Out of the 4, though, who should win? The Revenant. I think The Revenant should win this hands down. But who will win? Probably Spotlight. I think Spotlight is poised to be the Best Picture winner at the Oscars, actually. It'd be great if Room got it. Shit, Room's a great movie. But who should win? The Revenant, just my own personal taste. But who will win? Spotlight. And Spotlight's a great film. So there you have it. All right, guys, that will do it for the 2016 Golden Globe nominations. They have dropped. It's not my favorite award show out there. The Oscars is my all-time favorite, my only one I ever concentrate on. So what did you guys think about the Golden Globe noms? Do you think they have any correlations to the Oscar nominations coming out in about a month? Do you think my predictions are right? What are some of your predictions? Comment that place up on my face and let me know what you thought of all those categories. So we're getting to the end of the show, guys. Let's do the box office results for the weekend. We had one major movie come out. That was In the Heart of the Sea. Okay. Let me refresh this page. If my internet will fucking hurry up. Guys, this is what happens when you have Time Warner. Oh, come on. Guys, my internet is fucking balls right now. I apologize for that. What the flip? Okay, as I'm searching for another website to go off of, because I guess they're just now putting the numbers up. Might take a few minutes. Yeah, for the Golden Globes, it was actually a pretty a good year. I was actually really surprised by the nominations and how they kind of mixed in a good dose of blockbusters and indie films. It was a good year for sure. Okay, box office results for the weekend. First of all, The Big Short came out, and it came out in limited release in 3 theaters and made $720,000. Not really good for that, but I'm really excited to see it. Number 5 is Krampus with $8 million. Total gross is 28. I think the budget was like 10 or 20. Let me see what it says, because I'm using a different website. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, its budget was 15 million, and right now it's made about 31 million worldwide. So it's actually broken even. It's actually in the green just a hair, but yeah. So that's really good. I'm glad Krampus is getting money. I really enjoyed that. Very, very fun movie. Number 4 is Creed with 10.1 million. Domestically, it's got 72 million, and worldwide it's got 77 on a budget of 37 million. You double that, we're looking at $74 million. It's actually in the green as well. So thank you. Thank God people went to go see it, because great word of mouth and all that stuff. It definitely deserves it for sure. All right. Okay, and then number 3 is The Good Dinosaur with 10.4 million. So it just beat Creed just by a hair. The Good Dinosaur right now domestically has made 89, which is the US and Canada, and worldwide 167. Its budget is unknown, but I'll guarantee you it's like way more than that. Pixar is going to lose some money on this, folks. Number 2, In the Heart of the Sea with 11 million. Kind of a dud. Domestically, it's got 11 million, and worldwide, it's got 29. Don't know what the budget is, but it's definitely way more than that. So it's kind of in the red right now. And if you didn't hit it big this weekend, you're absolutely fucked for next weekend because of Star Wars. The number 1 for its 4th week in a row is Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 with 11.3 million. So just outbeat In the Heart of the Sea just by a little bit. Domestically, it's got 244. Worldwide, it's got 564 on a budget of 160. It's making huge bank. And then, yeah, that's it. So that's the top 5 guys for the box office. So, guys, we're at the end of the show. So that will do it for this week's episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. If you guys want to follow me on Spreaker, click that follow button. Follow me, and you get updates when I do these things live and stuff. And if you're listening on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, or SoundCloud, and you want a video version of this podcast, you want me to flail my arms around like Kermit the Frog and just see my beautiful looking face, link will be in the description below. If you're watching on YouTube and you want an audio only version of this podcast, link will be in the description below as well for you. Yeah, so that's episode 108, guys. Next week, episode 109, obviously I'm doing it over Star Wars. I'm seeing it twice before I do the show, so I'll have a better grasp of it, and I'll be able to fully give you a non-biased review. As I told you guys, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so I think that my review might be the most important one on the internet, because I don't hate the franchise, so I'm not biased against it. And I don't love the franchise where I just will love everything about it. I'm going to go in there as a casual fan. I'm going to review it as a film and stuff. So it's going to be really interesting to see what I think of it. So I'm seeing it twice. That will be next week's episode, guys. The Star Wars The Force Awakens, and of course, movie news, trailers, all that stuff. But The Force Awakens will definitely be the movie of choice. And I'll probably review Sisters as well because I'm seeing that on Tuesday. So I'll have a review for that as well. So, okay, so plan on that next week. Star Wars The Force Awakens and Sisters. I will have those 2 reviews for next week's show. It's going to be interesting. What a great combination. So, that's episode 108, guys. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @RealChaseling. All the links will be in the description below for where you can find me online, including We Live Film, DallasMovieScreens.com. It's all in that link. And then the beginning and outro music is done by my friends band Fervent Roze. They're blowing up in Dallas. Please go check them out and support them. Yeah, so episode 108 in the bag. Next week, episode 109, Star Wars The Force Awakens and Sisters. Going to be a hell of a show. I will see you guys next week. And listen, if you listen to this entire movie podcast and you are not a movie fan, maybe I convinced you to be one. So I'll see you guys next week. I'm Chase Lee. This has been Real Me and Cole, the movie podcast. Have a good day, good night, whenever the hell you're listening to this. You guys are fucking awesome. You guys keep me going. I'm glad you keep listening week to week. Oh, take care, guys. You guys are fucking badass. Let's play the outro music. Go! In the heart of the sea. It was just okay. See that at your own caution. So, see you guys next week.